Well, I was grabbed by a headline today.
Hmm.
Now, this may just be headline
I'm
writer.
sure it's a headline writer, but they got you again.
They got me. I clicked on it, and I'm going to read it to you.
What do we got?
Austin Novosad turning heads in quarterback competition
Oh, my
for
God.
Oregon football. Why are you laughing?
That is the definition of clickbait.
How do you know?
That is
You're not down there.
That is the definition of clickbait.
Well, how do you know that? You're not down there. You're not watching it.
He's turning heads.
What?
Whose head is he turning?
All of their heads.
People's.
People's heads. We won the Natty! Coming into spring camp and eventually this fall for the 2025 college football season, it has been fairly or unfairly assumed that Dante Moore will be the starting quarterback for the Ducks. This is from Yahoo Sports, by the way.
Yeah.
The writer here is Don Smalley of Ducks Wire. But redshirt sophomore Austin Novosad didn't come to Oregon to just hold a clipboard and watch from the sideline.
No one did. Thanks, Tips.
Novosad wants to play, and he's doing everything he can to
Whoa,
make
whoa,
sure
whoa.
he does just
Whoa.
that.
You're telling me that a 4-star quarterback recruit wants to play? Holy Santa Claus S.
His efforts and development on and off the field haven't gone unnoticed by head coach Dan Lanning. He says, quote, I think the guy's just a winner.
Yeah.
I mean, he has become really comfortable in our system. He understands it, and I think that Coach Stein and the offensive staff do a good job of continuing to push that, but he's really just level-headed, end quote.
That's just clearly he's ready for a Heisman Trophy.
Lanning continues, I think he's going to see some great quarterbacks in front with Dylan and Bo.
I think he's got to see some.
Oh, yeah.
He's
sorry.
already seen
I think
them.
he has gotten to see some great quarterbacks in front of him with Dylan and Bo, and that experience of seeing how those guys operate day in and day out and what he can be. He's a guy that can make every throw. He's a good decision maker and really a leader of our team. 6'3", 205 from Dripping Springs, Texas.
Yeah.
Dripping Springs.
Dripping Springs.
Yeah.
He's self-aware. He knows how much he's grown and developed, and he is gunning for Dante Moore.
It goes drip, drip, drip.
He said, I would say just my leadership and execution of like a faster paced offense coming here. We have a lot of checks, a lot of different schemes and play calls. And then now being able to kind of NFL style, being able to take a play call from Coach Stein and then relay it to the whole huddle and execute it at a high level has kind of been my biggest area of growth. So basically playing football.
And then don't forget, Gary Bryant Jr. said, I love Austin. I've been getting a lot of reps with him. And he's a deep ball thrower. And every deep ball is right there on the money.
Boom. See, dude, it just keeps getting better.
Can we now bring up the one where Tez Johnson said that Dante Moore is going to win a Heisman Trophy, or Ferguson said that it was the best arm he's ever seen? I mean, this stuff is just so... You got clickbaited again. That's what these...
Well, I don't think this says...
that's just what those...
It's not. It doesn't say he's going to win the job.
No.
It just says maybe he's looking pretty good, which is fair.
I'll just tell you, every spring practice... I don't care what program you look at. Every spring practice, the backup quarterback right now looks great. Looks great. Love them both.
I thought for sure he'd transfer.
Fantastic. Yeah, he's gonna stick
but
around.
Maybe they probably taught. See, this is probably fed to the Yahoo guys, or whoever wrote this, Dan, whatever, because the coaches want to create the competition.
Yes,
because they probably kept him around by telling him, hey, dude,
it's a competition. You
can win this job.
Yes. Well, and this is one of the problems that every coach is having now across the country is, and another reason why they don't really want to do spring games. I think you're going to see more and more coaches slow play this decision. Because if you come out and you've been there for 3 years and you come out and you get told you're not the guy right after spring practice, dude, thanks for coming, man. I'm going to go find some place that I can go play. And that's perfectly fair for a guy to do. So I do think more and more coaches are going to slow play this sort of thing, or even feed into the narrative, it's too close to call, and this is a really open competition. And look, he may end up being the guy, but all signs and anyone that I've ever talked to down there says that Dante Moore is the guy. So, does that mean that's locked in stone and nothing can change? No, but I would be very surprised if it's anyone but him.
Well, at worst, if Moore gets hurt or something.
Yes.
It's nice to know you have a good backup.
Well, and that's the problem. That the other thing you have is that so every kid, as soon as he gets beat out, his first thing is I'm going to bolt. But very rarely do you see a team go through an entire season without an injury or without some sort of controversy. I mean, Look at last year. You went into this with Quinn Ewers supposedly being the Heisman Trophy favorite, and Quinn Ewers got benched. Now, not for long, but Quinn Ewers got benched. And you look around the country, and very few times do you see a guy that makes it an entire season. It's just usually not the way it works. So you would love for these guys to stick around and keep fighting, but you have a limited amount of time. So when you do lose the job, and it's not like, you've only been there for 1 year. If you've been there multiple years and you get passed over again, I totally see why that kid should go looking somewhere else.
All right. Well, keep an eye on that for you with our sources.
He's looking really
pretty good.
Looking pretty good.